uh, to keep your camera off if you'd like. If you want to turn it on, you don't know how, bottom left corner of the Zoom screen, if you move your mouse over, you can turn the camera on. Happy to feel free to leave it off. And I'm going to mute everybody. If you have a question of some kind, you go over to the bottom left corner where the mute sign is and click on that if you have a question, or usually you can press space bar if you have a question. And so today, Tai Chi for gait and balance. So we're using the principles uh, of Tai Chi, which is the unique and elegant and precise, and to me, the best understanding of how we're supposed to move our body. There's a million ways to move kind of right, but wrong, still not great, you know. Um, and then there's really just one way that allows us to move gracefully, fluid, to not have wear and tear to the various parts of the body, whether it's the lower back or the knees or the neck kind of being out in front. So there's all these different ways we can move incorrectly, uh, but there's really just this state of being of loose and relaxed, right? You can see me doing it now when I'm walking. When I sink into this leg, I don't push. I'm not pushing through the leg. I'm sinking into the leg. So when I walk this way, I'm the saying in Tai Chi, the primary direction is down. So I've sunk down through this leg, got my stability. Even when I step this leg, I haven't started moving forward. So I'm still very stable. I'm not falling forward and then slamming down into this leg, which is a lot of times what happens. You see how this small little change of being vertical versus pitching forward a little bit. So if I'm pitching forward and then I walk, I fell and landed, and then I fell and landed again, and I fell and landed again, and I'm hammering my joints a little bit. I'm putting myself at risk of falling. And also, I'm not utilizing the feet as wheels. So if you see my foot there, I've just wheeled forward. So now I place my heel, and now I'm traveling in space on that foot like a wheel. And then I'm traveling in space, and then I'm traveling in space. So just these kind of elegant ideas of not walking like hammer, 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 but roll, 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 and then being loose through the body. So what we're going to do when we sit down, we're going to do shoulder blades, we're going to do some arm movement, some spinal movement, because we can't be super glued together and then walk because we're carrying around this big sort of heavy part, this heavy sort of clumsy thing versus being relaxed and loose. And then we can glide and slide, and all the vertebra can kind of gently turn and rotate. We get the little twisting and moving. So Tai Chi is a practice, but a practice in a set of different moves. But more importantly, it is principles. So let me just get everything set up here. Sorry about that. All right. So anyway, that's just a little primer. So for this class, set up just like I'm setting up here. So we've got a chair for sitting, and then we've got two chairs with the backs of those chairs facing in, creating a frame so that when we try different, single leg lift challenges, we've got support so we can do it confidently. And then go ahead, after you set all that up, two chairs, third chair for sitting, then sit at the front edge of that chair, hands resting on the thighs. Find your vertical axis. So this protocol, simple, and hopefully someday something that reoccurs to you, that recurs to you as you're moving through your day. Zhongjung is the Taoist term, meaning central upright. So you're taking a second to go, I'm probably not quite vertical. Let me make myself vertical, right? If you're slouching in the back, you tip pelvis forward. If you're collapsed in the chest, you slightly lift. If the head is jutted forward, you draw the chin back, back of head up, crown up, and you align those to create zhongjang, or central upright. Then after having created that vertical line, very importantly, soften. The Taoist term is song, meaning loose, pliable, and relaxed. So rather than holding and bracing our body, we release and allow for space and length everywhere. When we do that, upright and relaxed, then what happens is gravity goes down, levity is remaining. So they call that chunwan, which means the heaviness sinks down. So let heaviness go down as a form of stability. So if I had a pole with weight on one end, if I took the empty side down here and put the heavy side up here, it's falling, right? But if I invert that and the heavy part is at the bottom, that top part can stay vertical quite well without being held up here. You don't even have to hold it at all. So that's kind of a crude way of thinking of what we want to do here is we want to sink and settle and let heaviness go down. And what doesn't happen is when that heaviness goes down, we don't slump with it. In fact, the opposite happens. When we relax and let heaviness go down, there's this feeling of, oh, we've lightened the load, and there's actually a bit of a float through the body. So, Zhongjang, Song, Chunwan, and Qingling, or central upright, soften and release, let heaviness settle downward without grabbing it or holding it, let it go, and then feel that what remains is a little lighter. To help with all of that, breath in through the nose, long, smooth, and full. Expanding, stretching you open from the inside. When you're ready, exhale out the nose or the mouth. All the way out. Hold the breath out for a moment. When you're ready, inhale again. Hold the breath in for a moment. When you're ready, exhale the breath out. Let's just do that 6, 7 more times. You could spend 20 minutes doing this, and it would be a good 20 minutes. Going back over that protocol in your mind. Body upright, soft and released. Heaviness settles down. Lightness remains. That state is the state we then practice movement in, and therefore it's Tai Chi. If we're not doing that underlying vertical upright, relax, heavy down, light, then it's not really Tai Chi. It can look like it, but it's not what Tai Chi is trying to get us to discover, to cultivate. We have conscious layers of tension that we can, just by choosing, relax. But there are layers of like plaque and residue that can accumulate. So that's why we want to start using movements to break up those deeper layers that need to be changed. So, first move. Slide your hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back. Lift the chest up, the chin up, and arch the back. Spinal extension. Settle back to neutral. Slide your hands forward past your knees, hollow your chest, drop your head, rounding the back. And again, neutral, and then slide your hands back, elbows back, shoulder blades back. Add inhale to this one. Holding, And when it's time to exhale, slide those hands forward, hollow the chest, drop the head, round the back, hold empty. Let's just do that 3 more times. Enjoy it. Really take your time with each movement. You're uh, breaking up congestion. You're promoting fluidity where things have become stagnant. In a sense, you're massaging your own tissue, changing it from either overly tense and dense towards soft and supple, or from collapsed to soft and supple. So both states we're trying to bring to the single state of sum, soft, supple, pliable, juicy. Finishing on your next arched back position. And then settling to neutral, back to where we started. And second move. Left hand slides forward past the knee. Right hand and elbow pull back. Turn the shoulders to the right. Turn the head to the right. Gentle twist. Inhale back to center. And exhale, right hand forward, left hand and elbow back, twist. To your left. And then inhale back to center. And just take your time. Twist to the right. Back to center on the inhale. Twist to your left. Back to center. Let's do 2 more each direction. We're also doing electrical work. We're wiring brain and body as we go through each of these little body mechanism methods. We're connecting the brain, connecting the body. And again, remember the Holy Grail, the North Star. The destination is this state of loose, soft, pliable, relaxed. Now come back to center. Third movement. Shift your weight a little bit over to your right buttock. Side bend. Float your left wrist up, 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 up. Right hand, dangle it down. Right, left foot lift. Kind of teetering right at the edge. And then back to center. Left arm dangling down. Right wrist floating up. Notice the hand close to the body rather than way out here. Dangle so it floats right through that space. And then back to center. This little puppet string tied to the wrist here, floating up, leaning, tipping. Lateral flexion and extension of the spine. As well, we're finding our middle. The outer representation of the middle, the navel, the belly button. Deep to the belly button is this central pivot point that organizes the whole body. So the body can be loose and free to move, and yet it's not sloppy and all over the place because it's organized. It's got a cockpit, a center. And then we're back to middle. Now we just want to unpack chest, shoulders, upper back, and arms. Simple way to do so. Bring your feet closer together, fold forward, bring your arms forward, backs of hands touch, and go forward and up to about chest level. And then this big, satisfying open. Turn your palms face forward, slide down, and then settle to neutral. Forward, backs of hands touch, arms are internally rotated. Float up, and then big open. Arms a little behind and down. An important part of the body is that there's way more room in front but we don't crank our arms back that way. We only really take the arms back about this far. So find that comfortable amount. Any further and you'll feel it start to impinge and twinge on the body. Let's do that one more time. Forward, up. So there's all of this functional range out in front of us. And then just a teeny bit behind. And then there's neutral. Now reverse. Go, I'm sorry, don't reverse yet. Go forward and up. Now let's go all the way up. Keep going, keep going, keep going to whatever your maximum reach is. And then out, but the same thing. Find just that comfortable line. Down. Forward. Up. Keep going up, 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 up. And then and one more time, full range. Forward and up. Way up. And now let's reverse starting at the chest level. So we go a little back, up, and then forward, down. Neutral. Again, back and up, forward, down. Neutral. One more. And then 3 of them at full range. Back, up, forward, down, under. 2 more. Full range. And just remember that goal. We're just trying to create a little looseness, a little space between all the different parts so that we can relax them more, let them be more natural and fluid. And neutral. All right, just a little leg tune-up before we get up. Scoot back, bring your right knee up and in, gently grab with the hands, pull the rest of the way, flex the foot, full extend like you're pushing something away from you, bring back up and in, and then set that foot down and switch sides. Load your left leg up and in, push all the way extended, reload it all the way, and down. Again, load, push, load, down, and load, push, load, down. Now try that no hands. Load, push, load, down and switch. Load, push, load, down. One more each side. And right leg extend. Point, foot, flex foot. All the way point, all the way flex. Then tilt the foot a little in and out. Tilt. And circle. In, around, and out. Reverse circle. Out, around, and in. Switch feet. Point and flex. Tilt, in and out. Invert, evert. Tilt, tilt. Circle, in, around, and out. Reverse circle, out, around, and in. And down. Scoot once again to the front edge of your chair. One more with the legs here. We go wider than hip distance, giving us room. Lift your toes, turn, internal rotation. So it pinches close here in the groin area, your thighs roll in, and then lift your toes and externally rotate all the way out. Internally rotate all the way in, externally rotate all the way out, internal. So it's the rotation function that often people lose in the hips. This shows up in functional movement all the time in terms of turning left and right, rotating, adjusting yourself in balance. We have to have space here. And then neutral. Now the heels lift and the heels come in, the knees go out. And then the heels go out, the knees go in. So similar movement, but just a little different when you change the base. Internal, external, internal, external, one more, and neutral. Now sit up super tall, hang those arms loose. We've got just that protocol again, Zhong Zheng, central upright. Relax, loose. Chun One, or heaviness goes down, that's where we get our stability. And Qingling means light and nimble and unburdened, right? Levity. So gravity and levity balancing each other. From here, you slide your feet back. A lot of times when people stand up, they scrunch and tighten before they try to lift, because in the mind they're going, oh, this is going to take some work. But Tai Chi wise, we actually stay loose and spacious, fold, and just pour your weight forward and rise up. So just do it with ease, where you don't even use tension-based strength. You just use liquid, fluid. Now here, notice this first gesture. I didn't bend my knees. I hinged at the hips. Then the sinking of the buttocks, that's what bends the knees. Then when the butt gets close to the chair, you can then commit. So now you plug in through the chair, and then you fold and come forward. And now you're plugged in through the feet, but you're plugged in the whole time. We're just changing where we're plugged in. Fold, sink, and then at the last second, commit to the chair. On the way up, it's sort of inverted. At the first thing we do is unplug from chair and get it to the feet, and then the standing up is no problem. So it's kind of two phases, right? Fold and sink, then commit to your chair, fold and unplug, and then rise. Now, don't sit in your chair at all, but sink down as low as you feel you can. Let the back open, dangle your arms, and then come all the way up tall. And then hips forward, loose. And then middle, hips back, sink, rise, hips forward, middle, back, and sink. One more. So that functional movement while relaxed. And middle. Now you should have your chair set up like so. So now you got one on your right side. Come and stand in front of it. Stand vertical. Now we tip a little into the toe. Back. Keep your fingers on the chair. Tip into the heels. Tip into the toes. As you start to feel more comfortable with this, you can just hover the fingers near the chair for safety. But eventually you do want to try and challenge yourself to say, can you stay Chun One, or soft, sunken, heavy underneath, whether it's the toes plugging you in, all of the foot, or maybe even just the heels plugging you in. But all the while, you want to not tighten up. You want to stay loose and just slosh your liquid back and forth. Now, the next time you're in your toes, stay there and lift your heels way, way up. Lower them back down, and then slosh back so you're in your heels, and lift your toes way, way up. and down. Rock into your toes and lift your heels. Come down. First you rock to the heels, then you pull toes, bring them down, then you rock to the toes and lift, down, rock to the heels and lift the toes and down. Now just to really open up this body, hands on the back of your chair, walk your feet back a pretty decent amount, downward dog basically, right? So that's a stretch from yoga, but it's just one of the greats. Where from that same hip hinge, fold, send your booty way back. This should stretch along the legs, stretch the buttocks, the back, and those arms extended. You get a nice shoulder, upper back release as well. Downward dog. And then let's go chest up, hips kind of forward, and let's go in one more time. Hip hinge, downward dog. And chest up, hips forward, walk your feet all the way forward. Stand vertical, turn and face forward, and then step a little bit back from the chair so that as you can see with my chair, the length of the back of the chair is where my floor runway is, right? When we start shifting forward and shifting backwards, we want to just have that safety bit there. So you step back a little, and then first exercise here. Soft legs. So remember, zhong zheng means, not standing like this, but getting here, getting lines straight down through the legs, straight down through the crown. So find zhong zheng. Then song, or soft and supple. So relax. Rather than locking and bracing, release everything. At first it feels less stable, but then once you let it settle in, it's far more stable over time. Chunwan, heaviness is down underneath us. The body is light and nimble. Now, just touch your belly button and just touch it for a moment and moving as if from there over towards your right leg more. And then back to the middle and then over to your left leg more. So if you see in my body, I'm changing leg to leg, but I'm not tipping my body at all. So when you move from your middle, everything comes along for the ride, but there's less activity. It should just be very simple. Just over to your left leg. Now stay in your left leg. Usually people get stuck in the hip because they go too far or they lock their standing knee. Instead, don't do that. Stay above the foot and sink through the leg. Think of it like a bed spring. When you sit on your bed, how your bed receives your weight and becomes more sturdy. Let your leg behave like that. Then change. Go over to that right leg. So it's somewhat over, but not too far. And then sink through that leg. Let the leg take your body weight. And again, shift over and sink through the leg. Now, another saying is the weight change happens underground. So now, see if you can stay sunk and just change to the right leg, change to the left leg. Another saying is separate empty and full. So we don't want to be 80-20. We want to be 100% and 0. Now with your 0 leg, lift your heel up and get on the tip of the toe. So see how I do that. I just float the heel up. The knee has to bend. The leg moves forward. Now place the heel back down and switch. So shift over to your left leg, sunk down through it. Your other leg empty. Just get to the tippy toe. Place the foot down with no body weight and then shift over, sink through your right leg, tippy toe, down, change the weight, the foot that is empty, another poetic image, the mountain and the cloud. So mountain, cloud. Then turn the cloud into the mountain and the mountain turns into a cloud. Let's add challenge. Touch your chair, float the cloud up, place it down empty, change the weight underground, sink, make sure you've sunk through. Now that cloud foot, go to the tippy toe, float, place it down with no body weight at all, and then change from the middle. Sunk to the ground, jung, vertical, soft and relaxed rather than gripped, soft and sunken, heaviness down, chunwan, chingling, lightness, nimbleness. Now, hand on the chair, we add challenge. Lift your empty leg all the way up, all the way down with no weight, and up again. So repeat this lift. Eventually you want to do this with a light touch, someday possibly no hand on anything, where you're just getting free movement of this leg. And then we switch, shift, sink through that formerly empty, hand on chair for assistance so you can go full lift, down. And note that it's finite. It doesn't just lift and lift and lift forever. There's a point at which this is done. It's folded up and then it unfolds. So that's good news. It just means if you can practice each of these gestures and get them all to their maximum, then you can start really putting them together in functional movement. Let's switch. Now switch each time. Shift, sink, the empty leg lift, lower, and then change. Sink, other one's empty, lift, lower, change, lift, lower, change, lift, lower, change, and change. Now, make sure again that you've stepped somewhat back from the chair so you have a runway in front of you. Next exercise, we got our vertical, we're relaxed. We've got our middle, we sink over to the left leg, right foot empty, just place the heel out in front with no weight. Bring it back to where it was and switch. Sink down through your right leg, left foot, just take a little step. Bring it back, change, step, bring it back, change, step, back, change. Now, right foot in front, leave it there. Sink down through the right leg. That moves you forward, but you don't need to lean. Stay vertical. Then sink down through your left leg, and then down through the right leg. So that's saying primary direction is down. Down moved me backwards. Down moved me forward. And that goes for all the movements. We have to address down. Down. And that goes for walking, fast walking, sprinting, anything you would do, you have to address this down. Now, hand on the chair, lift, lower, shift. And then back leg empty, like a little flamingo. Just bend the knee, toe down, shift. So either hand on chair, someday you might play with no hand. Just float, down, shift. Back leg empty, just a little soft bend of the knee, toe down, shift. So this would be level 2 from the hip. Just lift, lower. So it shows this is an empty leg. And then shift. Now the empty leg becomes the full leg. This one empty, right? So I can easily lift and lower. Shift. Level 3, hand on the chair so you can go maximum range. All the way, down in front, heel touch, commit 100% down through that leg. Now this leg, forward and up, maximum lift, soft extend back, then shift from your middle, plug in, lift your right, lower your right, shift into the right, moving you forward, and then your back leg forward and up, back behind, shift. Let's do that one more time. Stay sunk underground and just float, lower, and then shift. Stay sunk underground while you come forward and up, back, shift. Now bring your right foot next to your left foot, sink down through your right foot, step out to the side, shift over to your left. You should have your chair over here. Bring your right foot next to it. Let's do that exercise again, the little empty heel touch. Sink down through your right leg, your left foot empty, touch. Bring it back. Switch, touch. Back. A couple things we're pointing out with this exercise. Main one is when you step forward, you don't advance forward. You set the foot up first. Bring it back. Same thing on the other side. So I'm getting ready to walk. I don't start falling forward. The foot goes out, right? And again, the foot goes out. Now have your left foot forward, so it's your other foot opposite the one you were doing here. So it's out there, and then only when you decide to commit your weight down to the earth through it do you actually advance in space. Same thing here. The foot is back there, but it's only when I commit down through it that I move back. And then commit, that moves me forward, and commit moves back. Remember, separating empty and full so that it's not like a lot of times what I see people do is they put some weight here, but they hedge their bets and they keep some weight here. And then when it's time to take a step, it's sort of a clumsy step. You have to learn to commit 100% and 100% so that each leg is able to do the job entirely. Now, fingertips touch the chair. Let's take it up a little. That empty leg, float. Lower the heel softly. Shift into it, advancing forward. Back leg empty like a little flamingo. Just bend the knee. Toe down. Commit to that back leg. Mountain, cloud. And then mountain, cloud. And then mountain, cloud. So these are changing. This is sort of the constant. Everything organized around your middle. Then we add that third level challenge, touching the chair, lift, softly land without going into the leg, and then 100% commit. The cloud leg can come forward, it's a cloud. It reaches back, it's still in this cloud state, it's loose. And then commit, it's the mountain. Once it's truly the stable part, lift, lower, and then commit. So this is the stable part. This one can lift and reach. And then this one, lift, lower. So they call it in Tai Chi being double weighted as the problem, where we have some weight in both legs and we're sort of clunking around in them instead of 100 and 0. So this one becomes very light, very functional, and then change it so that this one is that light, nimble leg. And back. Go back to where you started. Shift into the left, side, shift, bring it in. Now, all the weight in your left leg, so your right foot is in front. So back to where we started. Now we go shift, step without any weight, and then shift again. So now it's 2 steps forward, and then shift, step the toe back with no body weight, still a cloud, and then commit to it. Make that one the mountain, and this one's a cloud. From the middle, down through your right, step the left foot while it's empty, and then down through your left. You should advance 2 steps worth in space, and then commit down through the right, step the left back, down through the left. Again, and then over time that becomes fluid instead of sort of with these little pauses between. We can just go down, step, down, but it still has to have that awareness of all the Tai Chi protocol. Down, step, down. And then we're going down, step, down. Just leisurely down, step, down. Now we go level 2. Chair is there for you. lift and lower like we just did, shift, and now there's an obstacle on the ground, so you got to float that foot, step it over, lower it down soft and long, touching the earth, and then commit. Back leg like a flamingo, lift and lower. Then commit to your right leg. Now this one is usually the harder one. Float, tuck, and then reach, all without leaving your sturdy leg. Then commit. Back. So the lift and the lower, shift. Now you stay committed to that leg as you step over and then commit to that leg. Little flamingo. Down. So when we're on this side, reverse. We're on this side, just so we keep it all organized. Start with your weight in your left leg. So put your left leg back. It's my right, but your left. Have your right foot in front. So then we're going lift of your right, lower your right, shift, and then this back leg over an obstacle, and then commit, and the back leg empty, and then commit on your way back, float, tuck, reach without any weight. So it's this soft reach. Then the commit. Lift, lower, commit. Step over, commit, bend, down, commit, up, tuck, reach, commit. And then finally, level 3, maximum range. Use your chair for safety. Lift, lower, shift, and then maximum range here. Heel to butt, knee to chest, leg extend, lower it down, all without any weight, and then commit. Forward and up. Back without any weight. Shift and commit yourself to your new place in space in that leg. Then this leg can come up, tuck, soft and long, reach, and then commit to your new place in space. Lift, lower, commit to your new place. Full range. And commit to your new place. Full range. Commit. Up, tuck, reach. Commit. And step feet together. Let's get over to the other side. Side step. Shift. Stand. All the weight in your right leg now. Your left foot let that be the front foot. Now casual walk. We just go shift. Back foot is empty. Step. Shift. 2 steps forward. And then it's shift back. Step back with no body weight. And then shift back. So now here, when you're getting ready to start, make sure it's your right leg in the back and your left foot in front. Shift, step, shift, and again, shift. Wait until you've actually separated empty and full. Step the empty foot, then commit to it completely. Let's do 2 more. Make that as smooth as you can. Just go shift, step, shift. And shift, step, shift. The middle, floating along. The head, the shoulders, everything tied to the middle just comes along for the ride. You just relax. Level 2, touching chair for stability assistance. Lift, lower, shift. Back leg empty. Step over a small obstacle. Shift. Back leg empty. Flamingo. Now shift. Commit to your new place. Stay committed there through the whole reverse. Then commit to your new place. So you're not halfway there and halfway here. You're always where you are. So now you're in a new location. You stay stable there until you're in this new location. Stable there, underground, and underground. Let's go full range. Hand touch chair, full lift, down, shift. Full range of back leg, heel, knee, leg, down, still no weight, and then commit. Full lift, reverse, shift. Wait for it to truly be empty, then full step, shift. Wait for it to be empty so you can safely lift, lower, shift. New location, full range. Then new location, full range. Back. Now, chair set up. Move to the left side of your space and turn down range so you have as big a runway as you can create in your room. Level 1. All the weight in your right leg, left foot in front. Shift. Step. Shift. Step. Shift. Step. Shift. Step. Shift. Reverse. Shift. Step with no weight. Shift. Step. Separate empty and full. 100, 0. And then 100, 0. 100. Now can you smooth that out? So it's just down, 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 down. So we see how we use down to move forwards and backwards. So the main skill is upright, relax, chun one or heaviness underneath, feel the limberness through the body, and then going, okay, 100 through one so the other is free, and then 100 through that one, and then 100 through that one, and 100 through that one, and 100 through that one. That's how we walk and run and move and dance, right? Now, small obstacles the whole way. Step over, down, shift. Step over, down, shift. Step over, down, shift. Reversing. Up, tuck, reach, shift. Up, tuck, reach, shift. Up, tuck, reach. Still haven't left my landing zone, and then I commit to the new landing zone. Up, tuck, still haven't left, then I leave. Now either same level 2 or full range of motion if you're feeling up for it. Shift. Heel, knee, foot, down, shift. Full range. Shift. Right. Once you're back to your starting gait, turn and face forward. Put the weight down through your left leg, step your right foot out and in. We're going to repeat that. Out, in. Notice body doesn't move with the leg. This leg separates and returns. The groin area open, close. Now, open. Now, shift underground, down through this leg, your body then moves over, and then down through this leg, your body moves back to where it was. Covers a lot of distance based on how far your feet are, of course, but so side, side, but there should be no lean and lean or push and push. It's just from middle down, down, down. Now stay in your right leg. Left leg should be empty. In, out, in, out, in, out. Now bring your feet all the way together. Change the weight down through left, down through your right, down through your left from your middle. Check it. Can you do that? And then down through your right. Can you do that? So down, 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 down. Now put it all together. Down through your left, step your right foot out. Down through your right, step your left foot in. Down through the left, step the right foot out. Down through the right, step your left foot in. Down, step, down, step, down, step, down, step, reverse, step, down, step, down, step, down, step. And in the Friday class, we go over more of the upper body Tai Chi, the bear washing paws and swatting fish and brush knee and push and cloud hands. And so we start to add some of that to this sideways walking. So let's finish with that today. Step right foot out. Keep your feet as they are now. Shift down through the right. Turn, brush knee and sweep the leg. Now, shift down through your left leg. Turn, brush and sweep. Shift down through your right leg. Turn the body, brush and sweep. It's called the bear washing paws. Down through the left, turn, brush, sweep. Down through the right, turn, brush, sweep. Now stay in your right leg, hands stay over to the right, bring that left foot in. Go down through the left, turn, brush, sweep. Right foot empty, step it out. Down through the right, turn, brush, sweep. Step the left foot in. Down through the left, turn, brush, sweep. Step the right foot out. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step in. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step out. Shift, turn, sweep. Step in. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step out. Feel your middle. How doesn't really matter. Let's go back the way we came. Step left foot out. Shift, turn, brush, sweep. Step in. What eventually you feel is this paradox, this yin-yang concept of total freedom of movement and yet stillness. So shifting, turning, brushing, sweeping, everything's moving, and yet inside and kind of pervading through you is a sense of lightness and stillness, right? Whereas if I'm tight and I do this, I'm sort of throwing myself all over the place. But when you're loose, there's all this movement, this graceful movement, but you're not unstable. You're not destabilizing yourself while you're moving. Right foot in and out. Now let's add the challenge of your right hand stays low, left hand floats up about chest level. Shift right, turn right. It's called brush knee. Swat the jumping fish. Then left hand will go down, right arm floats up, and step your left foot in. Now we're ready to Shift into the left leg, turn the body, brush knee down low, swat that fish up high. Now, as your right arm goes down, your left arm floats up and step empty. Now we're ready to go. Shift, turn, brush knee, and swat. Time it all together. As left arm goes down, right arm's coming up, and left foot steps in. Shift down through the left, turn the body, brush knee down low, swat the fish up high. Time all three together. Right arm down, left arm up, and step. Then shift, turn, brush knee, and swat. Time it all together. Left arm down, right arm up, left foot in. Shift and turn, brush knee, and swat. Time them together. Right arm down, left arm up, and step. Shift, turn, brush, swat. Step and arms. Step left foot out, and let's go back the way we came. Shift, turn, brush, swat. Right arm goes down, left arm up, right foot in. Shift, turn, brush, swat. Left arm down, right arm up, step. Shift, turn, brush. Right arm down, left arm up, right foot steps in. Shift, turn, brush, swat. Left arm down, right arm up, step. Shift, brush, swat. Step. Shift, turn, brush, swat. Step. And to finish, just try to get that to flow a little bit. So at first we do it like a robot because we have to get the coordinates. We have to kind of get everything organized. But eventually you want it to feel just like water. Just so it almost never comes to a stop. It might slow down, it might even float and linger. But then it just and Tai Chi has, nearly infinite movements that you could explore in Taoist practice. There's Tai Chi, Xingyi, Bagua. All of them are just different mechanisms, different movement options. And there's so many. But what's most important is that this feeling, we start to get that feeling as soon as possible of body upright, loose and relaxed, heaviness down and out of the body, lightness pervading the body. And then how we put that in transit is put all the weight into one leg so the other leg is empty. That becomes the movable leg. And then we put all the weight through that leg, which then gives the other one its ability to move. And then when I commit to that leg, it's always down. So I'm not throwing myself off my own base. I'm always connected to the base. Step in, and then down to the base. Turn. Step out, and down to the base. Step in. And then it'd be one thing if we did this with the legs and we never moved our upper body. That would be helpful, kind of, but what's really liberating is when you start to find that you can turn and sweep all the way over here and keep your middle, and then you can turn and go all the way across to the other extreme, and you still have the same middle, the same equilibrium, the same sense of stillness, right? And then we finish coming to center, wing, roll, fold, settle. So this gesture takes the chi, the life force that we've just called out and let play, we say, okay, just remember this is your bed, this is your nest, this is your battery. Let's do that one more time. So this gesture of of wing, roll, fold, to sort of gather, and then this gesture of everything settle, 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 settle to the recognized middle resting point reservoir in the deep to the belly button. And then seal the practice by taking one hand, the center of that palm, on top of your belly button, and then this other on the back of this center there. And that sort of formally says, okay, cork in the wine barrel, we're done. Thank you, everybody. Great job. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to unmute. But keep in mind that embedded every class that we do, I'm always starting with the same Zhongjang, Song, heaviness down, lightness through the body. And that's something I'm hoping you're at the supermarket or you're in the coffee shop or you're headed to the bathroom across your room. You go, oh, yeah, check that. And then sink, sink. So everything is Tai Chi. Everything is Tai Chi. And it's not necessarily rocket science, but it's really potent. Simple to say, but to remember to do it can be a good challenge. So feel free to unmute yourself. Any questions of any kind? Otherwise, bye. Anything at all?
That last one was tricky, but I got it this time.
You got it. Yeah. Yeah, it starts to be natural. That's the fun part.
Yeah.
Is Tai Chi is it's so just it feels so good. It's like swimming, you throw yourself in the water and at some point you start to go, oh yeah, this is just natural. I get it. Tai Chi should feel that way over time. At first it's kind of weird, and then it just settles into circles and spirals and opening, closing. So
I like it when you
okay.
stop
And
stop
and
thinking
Donna,
about it too
welcome.
much.
I think I've seen you before,
Yeah, I
but
didn't
not.
put my camera on last time.
Oh,
But
okay, cool. Cool.
I was on in the Friday class.
Nice.
But I missed
Nice.
last
Any
Friday, but then I'm gonna start doing Monday and Fridays. It's really,
right on.
really,
Right
really
on.
helpful. I appreciate it very much.
Cool. Any questions or thoughts or anything?
No, I'm sort of not totally new to this, but
Yeah.
new in this body.
Yeah, I know. New with the new
The
challenges,
new
right?
body, yeah. But yeah,
Cool.
I'm a Shin Jitsu practitioner, and so a lot of
Yep.
this energy stuff is very,
Yeah.
just the way I think and live things. So
Yeah, I love that.
I
Love
love it.
that. That's
Resonates. Yeah,
perfect. Perfect. And being
yeah,
able to apply it, to
yeah.
the most basic things of, you
Right,
know, moving, reaching, folding over,
right,
sitting down, standing up.
right.
Because
It
sometimes
brings you
it can become fancy stuff. It's all
right,
these different moves, and those
right,
are fine, those are great, but
right.
how do we tie them to just everyday behavior?
Everything, right. It makes you
Yeah,
consciously move through this world in
yeah,
this body, but it makes you think about it and slow down and be intentional
yeah.
about how you move your body because that's, more important than ever now.
And I think it's important for all of us to remember, especially people who are dealing with, some issue that has a name, like
Right,
Parkinson's, for instance.
right, right,
But every human being on a
right,
long enough timeline
right.
has to learn exactly this. I saw a post on Facebook, found it really from Clint Eastwood, and he was saying everything that everyone is talking about, he's finding now in his, I think he's in his 90s. He's going,
Yeah,
yeah, you have to have strategy for everywhere,
right,
your energy level. So
right,
everyone has to deal with it. We all have to learn these lessons,
right,
or it's valuable for all of us to learn them.
right,
So we're all on the same road. Some are just maybe
right.
a little further along it, right? So
Yeah, yeah. Thoughtless movement now is too dangerous.
yeah, that's right. That's right. It's a threat to your survival.
Yeah, yeah. So, well,
Cool.
thank you very
Well,
much. Appreciate
yeah,
it.
pleasure to have you. And anything from anyone else?
Thanks a lot, Otto.
Great. Thanks, y'all. Have a great
Thank you.
week, and see you Friday.
See you
Okay,
Friday.
bye-bye.
Bye.